Let's get some music going. Yeah, no worries, FD. Almost said no worries, Nightbot. That would have been weird. Oh, yeah, no, this playlist is just too crunchy. There we go. Yeah, no worries, FD. Alright. So, the part we care about right now. We've got the remote, we've got the local. Those are separate items at the moment. There you go, Stairway. So it's actually in status that we want to do this. Oh, yeah, exactly, Ethan. Just another troll. Ah, and we don't have differences anymore. It is local differences and remote differences. S3 bucket. Well, I mean, it's wherever you want to put them. I don't care, as long as you're doing it separate from your deploy. So we've done that part, sure. It does modify some of this a bit now. No, there is no backend. It's just a static file and you use one of our client libraries. You can plug that client library into your backend or your front end. All right, so the modifications we just made. We got the remote and we got the local. All right, so validation errors is actually separate. I think we've written it in Kotlin. Let me double check. Yeah, I think I'd end up doing Kotlin just for more broad compatibility. I know we started the Kotlin one. I guess I didn't finish it. Yeah, so these are currently all of the client libraries for version 0.x. Was it packaging? That was it. Yeah, trying to get it up to Maven or whatever. I think that was it. I don't care about the future of it. I don't give a shit. You shouldn't either. Live in the moment. Have some faith that you can learn a new language as quick as you need to. And then stop worrying about any amount of time after now. Who cares? Oh, I was waiting on approval? Was that it? I forgot all about that part. We've got it on PyPy. Guess it's not on Maven. Hold on, let's go look in the organization. Let me double check. Yeah, so we did have the Kotlin. Yeah. Yeah, not sure yet. Yep. I know, exactly. Like, dude, the time flies. We did modify it like 2 years ago. Yeah, so Vexilla -client. Yeah, I don't remember where we were in the holding pattern. Whatever. It is Maven that you push to, right? Or am I mixing that one up? It's one of them, yeah. But honestly, hold on, let me double check. Stairway to Heaven, would you be willing to do a Kotlin client? If you want to do the Java one? Java can be used inside Kotlin, right? Or does it depend on which version of the JVM you target? Like, I don't know nearly as much of that stuff. So, yeah, I'd at least need some help when we get to that point. But just keep in mind that we're not ready yet, because we're doing like a version 1.x version of the schema, and I need to get the tests and everything set up for that before like other clients can be written. So I'm doing the TS and the Rust one first, and then that should at least give a little bit more like leeway, or more like guidance towards people writing some of the other clients. Honestly, if older versions of Java would be requested and needed, that would be an option too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. That's right. Validation snapshot is done elsewhere too. Yeah, so we gotta go look at that. Validation here is derived. Oh, that's just our config. Yeah, never mind. That one's fine. Remote differences, local differences. Yep, we're good there. Okay. That's the older one. Yeah, we don't do that anymore. And technically, you don't even have to do that part. You can just export to a JSON file. But even then, nothing prevents you from scoping an IAM user that only has permissions to upload to that one bucket, right? It's really, like, trivially easy to get a finely scoped key. But again, this is the new UI. We don't have that config anymore, so just, you're getting the cart before the horse, man. Alright, so I think we have what we need with these. Yeah, we should be good. So the local differences, etc., those should be fine. I've got a lot of these open. Let's close basically everything. Alright, easier to find what we need now. So these are local differences. This is local modified at change, and this is local changes. Oop. Alright, so yeah, here's the main gist. Publish modal is defined here, but it probably has a bunch of stuff in it that we want to pull out. So if we look at it, publish modal is a good, like 300 lines of logic. Hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Yeah, a lot of this logic is actually going to be the same. So we're going to have to pull this out at some point. So we've got publish modal. I'm just going to duplicate it for now. And this is a diff modal. So now it's no longer publish. This is... we take in changes, the modified at change. Publish is no longer the right prop, though. Yes, let's go look at this type. Primary action label. Alright, so primary action and primary action label, and then we just want to go fix that down here. Yeah, you know what? I think diff modal is actually more accurate anyway. Right, so I think that abstraction's fine. So diff modal props. Boom. So there's status item. What's up, I Need Money? How you doing? Alright, so that becomes diff modal. Yeah, it's a good library. And I don't need the wrapping there. So that's that diff modal. This one ends up being remote changes because they're actually higher up in the list. Let's do that. We're still going to call it the publish modal for this diff modal going outbound. So we end up needing the remote changes modal, I guess. So yeah, let's go grab that disclosure. And yeah, we're not using any of those, so that's where they're going to complain about that. Remote changes isn't even made yet. Publish comes in there. Yep. So this is also going to be merge remote. Merge remote config. Yeah. And it's basically the same thing. And then this would be merge remote changes. We'll make this publish local changes too. All right, so we got some stuff missing. We could also do these without worrying about like doing them separate, I don't think it's that big a deal. I don't think the performance of it is going to be a huge issue. If we were worried about it, I'd probably move it to a use effect. But I think for now, we're probably good. Right, and then this is show, or, wait, isn't, oh, it's open. Remote changes mode. Aha, and yeah, we're back on the point of we're not fetching the remote config often enough. And we're not logging ourselves out when it's failed, right? We're not logging out, but more like showing the result here. So we gotta do that part next. Yeah, I just forgot. I'm not lurking anybody. I definitely should. So wait, what is up with that diff? Oh, wait, no, I know. So that should be fine. What I think we want to do, though, right, so as we look at it, we see the direction it's going. And this is remote to local. The other one should be local to remote. Where are we doing that part? Yeah. Oh. And hey, what's up, Sean Washington? Yeah, how you doing? Thank you for the lurk over there. Appreciate you. Sorry it took me a minute to see it. God, I need to move that over, I think. That way it's more like in my peripheral. I am sorry about that, Sean. Thank you for that lurk. I really appreciate the lurk over there. Alright, I should be able to see it now. It's moved over more. But yeah, thank you, lurkers. All right. So we see right broken here. We see the local timestamp there. We should probably flip it and have local on the left, remote on the right, and then just change the way the arrow faces. So our diff modal needs to take into account the direction, incoming or outgoing. And we want it to be explicit. Yeah. What's up, Ruis? How you doing? We could even do a ternary inside of here, too. Because they're probably going to end up being the same size, color, styling. I think for now I'm good with it. Let's just bring in the other icon. Alright, so now these need the direction. This one is always incoming. And outgoing. Cool. And yeah, how you doing, Breakbind? What you up to? Evo matches? Is that the game Evo? Like, no. What is Evo? Oh, Evo's like the fighting conference or whatever, right? Like fighting game conference? Is that it? The one that like S-Fan's at right now? Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, any like fancy events that you're seeing? King of Fighters? Ooh, cool. Is there a new King of Fighters game, or is this on like the older like Neo Geo style game? I'm guessing there's a newer game. Do they ever do like okay, it's new. Do they ever do like older games like shit, Primal Rage? Because that would be super fun to watch, actually. I'd love to watch a Primal Rage tournament. They probably do, right? But not, maybe not publicized. Not like streamed. They do? Ah, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, no worries. I was just curious. And yeah, I really appreciate you lurkers over on YouTube. Thank you. It's awesome. Alright, so we're still thinking about how this needs to work. We'll figure out some like styling stuff here in a minute. Oh, so disabled is a separate thing. I'm misusing disabled on the remote config. On the remote diff, I mean. I think we're still missing a little bit of config state so that we can know if we've approved the remote, but let's just keep hacking at it, right? Very similar to the article we read yesterday. Let's just do something so that we can actually fix it. I'm gonna group these together too. Oh, and we do want that one disabled at this point. Yeah, if there are validation errors, how do we even know if we have remote changes? So, yep, that disabled makes sense, but this would then be... remote changes. So yeah, those stay disabled. And I think if disabled, we want to hide the action button too. Yeah. So action button disabled would be validation errors.length greater than 0, or remote changes.length equal to 0. Yeah, alright, so I'm okay with that. Alright, we go edit, grab our config, log in. And we can't publish yet. And what up, DM Mulroy? How you doing? So is publishable. Here we go. So validation status and diff status. Alright, so now... Oh. Did it not blend? I still don't see why that text isn't showing. Yeah, is publishable should have worked. Hold on, I messed that up somewhere. And what up, Dana? How you doing? Oh. I wanted this. There we go. That was it. So the part where we're doing the notification here, right? No changes to publish versus this versus that. Yeah, we need to derive this. My instinct was, oh, let me just do a nested ternary. And, no. Like, just, no. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't wanna. No. Yeah, totally. All right, so publish error text is that. Oh, hold up. You know what I just saw recently that seems really cool? I don't know if we're going to use it right now, but I just reminded myself, like, oh, I wish I had some pattern matching. TS pattern. This seems really nifty. Ah, no worries, Ethan. Ooh, what you getting at the grocery store? I went and grabbed some sushi for tonight. But yeah, this is amazing, right? We get actual, like, proper exhaustive pattern match checking, which is legit. I assume this will throw if we miss a type. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Steak and potatoes? Nice. Oh, really? Nifty, DM. Nice. Yeah, pattern matching, I was spoiled by learning Rust first, and then learning Elixir after that. There's even like a faux pattern matching library in Go as well. It's not great, but it's a thing. It's hard to go back, yeah. I mean, still, it's better than a series of if statements like I'm about to do. But I'm not sure it's worth the dependency. All right, so then this one is remote. Exhaustive switch? Are you saying exhaustive switch in a language like Go? Yeah, Go has like a decent switch that is much better than other switch implementations. It's still a far cry from proper pattern matching though. In TypeScript, right, you just lose all the power of matching upon like dependent data types and stuff like that. So I would say exhaustive switch doesn't solve any of this. Yeah, I still don't think it's as useful. Hey, what up, Vaders? Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm stoked that bot's killing it. That's awesome. I mean, Rust and Elixir end up being about the same for pattern matching. And I haven't done enough Reason to really know about, like, OCaml or Reason syntax. Oh, and that's the wrong one. Yeah, it's quite fun. I like it. Everything is immutable, which actually, like, gives you a lot of power. You can't even modify an array in place. So this logic isn't exactly right, though, because we're going to need to take into account when we did our last, like, merge. All right, there are remote changes to merge. And confirm as our text there seems a little meh. Maybe it's more like view. Oh, it is view. Action button label. Oh, and we had it confirm right there. Cool. I almost want to change the button type of that too. Variant, subtle. Let's go look at Mantine real quick. I think that works for me. Yeah, I think that works. All right, but that length is no good. Oh, and we're just passing a hard-coded 0, so yeah. think the diff is in the wrong order, though. Yeah, this song's good. And yeah, how's everyone over on YouTube doing? What are you guys doing? Anything fun? Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. I think I have our diffing backwards. Let me go look at that. Bought a few domains. Nice. Any fun ones? Any ones you're especially proud of? Oh, that's good. Nice. Yeah, that's fun. There you go. It's a good approach. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I think I still want a disabled one of these to have some kind of like circle bubble. And yeah, so I think those should be good. Now if we view, we would see that, yeah, we're removing a whole bunch of these. We'd be removing that. Right, so we could reject it. The remote config is strange to me. We see the environment ID of PEIV right there. Okay, so something's up here. Well, let's go look at it. Yeah, let's go look at this value. So what they're telling me as a diff doesn't seem accurate, like at all. Environment 2 by that ID doesn't exist. And what's up, Succotash? How you doing? Yeah, it's been a little bit. Primary action is not a function. What? Oh, right, because, yeah, app isn't passing it in now. That's right. So, status here. We end up needing a function called merge remote config. Been stuck on Naruto? Like watching the show? Like catching up on it? And how's it going, Cheddar? What are you up to? All right, so the big gist here. All right, we've got this helper function called merge changes. Oh. I think there's a step I'm missing here. Alright, let me look at this type again. We've got modified at, remote modified at, remote merged at. And we want to scrub all of those values from our main config. Yeah, like 300 commands. Yeah, it's quite a bit. All right. So I think we're good there. Wait, what are they complaining about here? That part still, that's fine. Thank you for the follow, Cheddar and Deblato. Yeah, appreciate you. Welcome. Doing anything fun? All right, Red Bull's done. We drank a glass of water. Probably get some gaming done here in a bit. But that means I probably need to go grab my whiskey glass. No, I'm not using Next.js. What game are we playing tonight? I don't know. If it's just me and Robotic Head, probably Wasteland. If it's just me, I have no idea. Starfield comes out soon. I forget when though, right? It's only a couple weeks away. September 6th. So we're a month away. It's just React, Augustine. This is just a static dashboard style application. We don't need server-side rendering. We don't need SEO. You don't need a meta framework all the time. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm kind of waiting. I'll try and play it with some friends again. But, yeah, if there's going to be no communication and if there's going to be no, like, voice acting, I might just play it solo. Because then I can at least make sure I'm voice acting all the dialogue that I can. No, our dialogue does not. Even if you pick an early character, right, your dialogue to the other people does not actually get voiced. I know because one of our group actually picked one of the default characters and their voice didn't happen. Right? Yeah, our dialogue. I don't need to voice the enemies. That's great. That's awesome. That's so good. But still, like, voice acting your character, hugely important to me. Otherwise, it's just boring and disjointed and I don't know. I want to treat it like a proper role-playing experience. Oh, those are the environments. Right. You never know unless you try to get better at it. I'm sorry. No one's born being good at reading or, you know, voice acting, etc. You know how you get better? Practice. Same way you get to Carnegie Hall. Alright, I'm back. Just had to go grab the whiskey glass. Yeah, I mean, that's to miss the point, though. Like, are you incapable of playing Dungeons and Dragons? It's the same thing, right? It just becomes a video game. Yeah, it depends on the game. But I'm also very, like, story-driven for game dev, right? Like, yeah, a good story will keep me playing a bad game. Trying to think of a good example of that. Honestly, not the most recent Final Fantasy, but the one before that. The gameplay was a bit meh. A little too hack and slash for me. But the story kept me going. Kept me into it. I got myself burnt out on, what was it, 15 or 14 or whichever one it was. Totally got burnt out on the gameplay, but the story kept me involved. Shit, Final Fantasy VII was the same way. Oh, I never played D&D as a kid. But I played a shitload of RPGs. Yeah, Baldur's Gate, every D&D game, basically. I didn't play the ones that were, like, action-oriented. There was some, like a Baldur's Gate action version game that was meh. Alright, let's pour a beverage. And yeah, everyone that won stickers yesterday, I have not sent them out yet, but I got the envelopes written. Let me double check I got enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 of them, actually. So yeah, I'm gonna be sending some stickers out whenever I get out of the house next. Probably when I go drive to Costco and Home Depot. on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday. It depends on the type of RPG you like. Do you enjoy turn-based? Do you enjoy other things? Do you want fantasy? Do you want, you know, cyberpunky? There's just, I don't know, man. RPG is a broad category. I would say, try one of the Divinity Original Sin games. Right when they go on sale. Hell, even Divine Divinity and Beyond Divinity are fantastic. They're a bit dated as far as graphics go. Yeah, so I wouldn't consider XCOM an RPG. Right? You don't really get any character development. All of your characters are basically, like, expendable. So it's more like a tactical sim at that point than anything, in my opinion. Alright, let's stir this. My favorite game of all time is Shadowrun on the SNES. That was my first, like, real introduction to, like, a cyberpunk style, like, RPG. I would say, the Final Fantasy VII remakes are pretty good. Super Mario RPG is fantastic. There you go, Verbs. Yeah, that's a really good RPG. Yeah, that's way up there with, like, some of the best RPGs ever made. For sure. Yeah, Mario RPG is a great example. So yeah, good call. $10 and $10X. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of them. If you're into, like, the best graphics, etc., yeah, go for, like, newer stuff. Yeah, makes sense. For the most part, I'm just gonna say you do need to be, like, invested in the stories. So if you don't find the stories compelling, and you don't like the mechanics of the fighting, etc., then don't even worry about it. You know? No, you don't have to like RPGs. There's nothing wrong with not liking a certain style of game. I'm not a big fan of fighters, though I do really enjoy Tekken. I don't like playing against people who play a lot of fighters, though. But, you know, good casual gameplay amongst friends? Yeah, totally fun. Honestly, there's a shitload of games if you're willing to tolerate older graphics. Like Parasite Eve would be really good to play through again. I think Vagrant Story would be really fun to play through again. I never finished Parasite Eve or Vagrant Story. So Nas Redden. Okay, how about this? Have you played the Deus Ex games, right? Like, whatever, I forget the names. Mankind something or other, blah, blah, blah. Those are good RPGs, actually. Those are technically RPGs. More first-person style. Skyrim is a good RPG if you like first person. And hey, what's up, Darren? How you doing? Single player action RPGs? Sure. It's tough though because action RPGs I think skew like a little closer towards just action games. There's a fine line. I would say Witcher 3 is closer to RPG than action RPG, but it's a fine line. Really, Ecstasy? Oh, that's legit. Yeah, you're down in Vegas, right? So, yeah, dude, that'd be so cool. Oh, man, I'd love to go see some, like, Penn and Teller stuff down in Vegas. Like, at TwitchCon. That'd be amazing. Yep. Which means if they do it again during TwitchCon... just let me know. Right? I can say I know a local. And Jason, if you're out there, that's another perk of moving to Vegas. You get local status. Ooh, so technically you signed an NDA. Are you even allowed to say that you were in the audience? Is it a, like, in perpetuity NDA, or is it only until it airs? Ah, right. And then after it airs, it's probably fine. Ooh, that'd be another thing. Yeah, has Season 10 even been announced yet? That would be another thing that might be behind NDA. Oh, cool. Brooke Burke. I've heard land is dirt cheap in Vegas, Darren. Brooke Burke, hold on. Who is that? Is she like a fitness influencer or something? It looks like it. Download my fitness app. Has she ever acted in anything, or is she just like a reality person? Dancing with the Stars shit? Oh, okay. Rock star, she's got the look, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So she's a reality TV star. Sounds about right. Yeah, Allison, whatever her name is, from, like, Buffy and stuff. Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, is there any, like, explanation, or, like, do you know, is anyone, like, into the show enough to, like, know why? Was Allison just asking for too much money or something? And what up, Alan? Yeah, I saw you raid over into stream I'm lurking right now. Oh, okay. Maybe Allison wanted more money. I could see that. Oh yeah, no, exactly. I know, man. No, I get you. Yeah, and you raided, like, fairly recently, like in the past week. So, like, yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, you've raided a bunch. Yeah, no stress. I saw Purple Elf's raid too. She raided here yesterday, so yeah, like, you know, that's how it goes. Gotta spread it around a bit. It's boring to raid the same people every time. Yesterday, I even raided someone new, I think. Pretty sure I've never raided that person before. And that was fun. I like doing that. And yeah, he had his brother on. Yes, that was a good raid yesterday. I'd like to bring my brother on at some point for some kind of content. Maybe, like, teach him how to do web dev. Yeah, ecstasy, like, it makes sense because they want to, like, they want to space things out. They don't necessarily want to get, like, fooled too many times in one episode. They don't want to necessarily, like, have nobody fool them in an episode because, you know, getting a fooling kind of, like, makes the content, right? Depending on what you mean by Chad. I mean Chad in a negative way, Darren. Yeah, I'm from an era in which Chad is, like, the jock motherfucker, you know, who just sucks. I don't know when Chad actually became a compliment these days, but it's not the way I treat the word Chad. Chad is like, hey, I'm Chad. Right? Like, hey, what up, bro? Yeah, I'm Chad. It's still not a compliment? I think you're wrong, man. I think the internet is actually, like, flipped around on Chad actually being cool. I think the internet actually considers Chad like a compliment these days. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, I come from, like, the snowboard world, too, so, like, Chads are, like, the exact opposite of cool in the snowboard world. Right? Like, the jock motherfuckers. Snowboarding is pretty much, like, hippie. So yeah, when there's the people that actually embody, like, proper Chadisms, they're just the worst in the snowboard world. Yeah, that makes sense, Ecstasy. So, like, do you think they already know which ones are going to be in which episode? Or do they only do that for some of them? Right? Through clever, like, editing, etc., the things they were saying might not even be relevant to the people they just brought on stage, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like, so much so that I bet, like, some of the dialogue you heard, they actually had enough spacing to properly, like, cut it and use it whenever and then just do, like, you know, cuts properly. Whereas, like, okay, well, this one actually made it to the first episode, so we can just do the entire intro with, like, the space they had between what they said and, you know, that's, like, episode specific and then who they're bringing on stage. I bet you could actually be really conscious of, like, their pauses and breaks in the speeching and all of that. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. I know, right? Yeah. And that might be part of their strategy, too. You never know. Oh, and this is actually it. So fetch current config is doing exactly what we want here. We set it on an interval. config.hosting.access token. Their first performance since COVID? Oh, that'd be cool too. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is, I think, the biggest perk of living in Vegas. Also, you know, poker tournament anytime you want. I'd love to do like a Hold'em tournament while I'm out there. So yeah, the invalidating token part, I don't think that's happening. Evo's in Vegas? Oh, interesting. Yeah, Evo is, or not Evo, sorry, Vegas is like a huge convention, like, destination. The snowboard convention used to be in Vegas, and it was the best, actually, being just around thousands of other skiers and snowboarders at the same time in Vegas, because, you know, like, you go to Vegas on your own as a dirtbag, and you're just a dirtbag amongst all the other just tourists. You go there as a dirtbag amongst thousands of other dirtbags, and you actually get treated right. It's kind of cool. Oh, they're going to do an F1 race even. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it'd be cool. Wait, when is that race happening? It's not overlapping with TwitchCon, is it? Okay, TwitchCon is October, so we're good. Perfect. Because they did that for one of the TwitchCon EUs in Amsterdam at one point. They ended up booking on the same weekend as an F1 race, which is a terrible idea. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure TwitchCon wasn't doing that, because if it was, I'd have to lock down my hotel room, like, right fucking now. Because some people are saying, like, oh my god, hotel rooms are going to get up to, like, $1,000 a night or whatever, because, you know, scarcity. And it's like, no, unless there's some other major conference going at the same time, TwitchCon is not going to sell out the entire Strip. That's impossible. So the key is, yes, the hotels near the convention center might get super spendy. The ones on the Strip that you can just take the monorail to the convention center from, probably gonna stay pretty cheap. And yeah, again, thank you all you lurkers over on the YouTube. You're the best. I'm at like 420 watch hours right now, which is awesome. I was at 120 like a month ago. Yeah, the Sahara. Yep. And hey, what's up, Ricardo? Yeah, no, I'm looking at like some of the cheaper ones. There's plenty. Like MGM Grand is right at the end of the monorail too. So yeah, there's like a bunch of casinos you can stay at that are right on the monorail. Oh, there you go, Ecstasy. Yeah, tickets over $2,000. It's crazy how popular F1 is. Yeah. Yeah, we got some like major like racing fans here in stream. I'm forgetting his real name, but Avandro, one of our like longest viewers, is a huge racing fan. I don't know why I'm spacing on his Twitch name. Stupid brain. Yeah, seems cool. Alright, so real quick though. We want to go into local storage here. Oh, okay. I'm not a car person. That's kind of annoying. I just gotta like copy and paste it and then modify it. I don't like that. Oh, and it doesn't even select the whole string? Oh my god. Alright. Local storage dot get. Oh man, this is killing my computer. Yikes. Alright. Alright, this is JSON for sure. Format. Alright, so what we end up seeing is that we're not seeing that fetch yet. And we should see a fetch that then fails because our token's invalid. So we do that login. We need a good way of testing this. To Silverstone? Is that like a specific like race venue or something? It's a track in the UK. Cool. Wait. Hold up. I thought you lived here in the US. Like, did you travel for it? Or am I mixing up where you're from? Sorry, DM, if so. You did travel for it. Okay, cool. Just double checking. For your 30th? Ah, sick, man. Yeah, happy birthday. Like, you know, it's late, but whatever. Happy birthday. I know, I'm not looking forward to being part of the Big Four Club next year. This is my last year of being in my 30s. I've never done a Slack bot or a Discord bot, but at the end of the day, it's still like a server-based thing you have to deploy, right? So feature flags aren't just for front end. Feature flags are for everybody. Think about it this way. If you want to release, you know, a billing component, and then you realize you want to turn it off, a remote feature flag would be something you're consuming for your back end and your front end to just disable someone hitting your back end to create a payment, etc. So it's not just a front end thing using feature flags. Feature flags are viable for any software in which you want to decouple the toggling of these features from your deploy process. Oh, okay. Sure. I think that's outside of the scope of what I'm trying to do right now. But it's not a bad idea, because then the chatbot would be the one with the permissions to go create PRs, etc. So it's not a terrible idea. Yeah, no. Yep, just because it's outside current scope doesn't mean it's a bad idea. I just think I don't have the bandwidth to, like, even consider doing it yet. But it doesn't mean it's not something to, like, think about later. I think the metadata of the PR the bot creates would still need to, like, have the traceability of who did so, right? Who made the bot change a thing. Yeah, you'd probably have to do, like, a flags list to see all the flags available, then a flags, you know, get or set or status. Yeah, exactly. The user who sends the message would have to be part of the metadata inside of, like, the PR description. And then at least you have some kind of traceability. Yeah, it's not a bad idea at all. Because then all you would need is the bot to have permissions to modify things, right? So the bot would be the only one that needs like a GitHub account, and then your business people could just be in some channel toggling the flags. It's really not a bad idea. I like that. Because then it means that, you know, product managers don't need a GitHub account or don't need a GitLab or whatever account. So yeah, that's really not a bad idea. I like it. At some point, if you want to try your hand at writing a bot for that, that could be useful. Yeah, I hadn't really considered chat ops. I think right now I'm looking at like Git ops as the main thing. Yeah, like Ecstasy, if you want to make the Discord bot, and Miniscrap, if you want to work on the Slack bot, I'm down. Yeah, totally. I like the idea. I don't think we're ready for it yet. Like, I need to get the client, like, TypeScript up and running. Right? The TypeScript SDK, I guess I should say. I need to publish the new editor and all that stuff. But, yeah, I think once I really solidify some of this stuff, it'd be pretty valuable, yeah. We'd have to think about how you actually connect the bot. And that would be a little trickier, too. But doable. Yeah. Yeah, really like the idea. And I think that's a major feature that all these other feature flag tools don't even have yet. Inside your website dashboard? I'm not sure about that. No, I think there'd have to be some other way of doing the auth, because this dashboard is completely disconnected from any kind of server. Yeah, I think chat ops is a very good thing to think about, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in my opinion, I wouldn't want to set up like a central bot yet. I think the initial approach would be people set up their own bot, and then it's easy. Sure, right? But that's not even the hardest part yet, Ecstasy. How do we wire up the process of getting that token for the bot? Right? How do we make that as simple as possible? Yeah, so again, I haven't done any Discord or Slack bots, so I'm not sure what that auth process would even look like. I'd happily discuss and think about it. Yeah, exactly. I just don't know. I've never made a Discord or a Slack bot. If we do this right, I will happily claim on the marketing site the world's first GitOps and ChatOps focused feature flag system. Boom, nailed it. Bam. Pay me money now. Money, please. Right? Totally. Yeah, we'll have to really dig into that once we get the core functionality up and running. So yeah, the part that I'm actually like wondering now is, I almost need to wire up just like a BS button to invalidate my token, or just to like modify it with some value that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it makes sense, Ecstasy. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done it before, so we'd have to figure it out. All right, so we're gonna wire up just a quick hacky little button. Hack. It's Dorama Sands. Oh, someone beat me to it. Oh yeah, 1 second. There you go, you can do links in the future. Yeah, the only difference is I made Drama Sands. That was one of the first things we did on stream. Alright, so this hack thing, yeah, we need to bring in our config. Wait, what? That's it. Yeah, hold on. config.hosting.access token is equal to that. So I don't think that's actually... Oh, it is. Okay. Okay, hold on. Alright, so we go log in. I just want to make sure that this, like, validation is happening properly. Okay. Alright, so what I'm thinking now is I want to throw some circle dots on these guys, right? Similar to that one, but maybe we just put like a question mark in it or something? Or maybe it's just an empty circle? Yeah, I mean, so we see that it's actually working. So I'm going to call that good. We don't need our heck anymore either. Actually, we can just leave the heck for... Nah. We'll get rid of the button. We don't need that button. Okay. I was curious, right? Like, some of my tweets have just been dying, right? Like, 200 views and shit. And honestly, like, 500 for this one I just did earlier, even though it's been liked and retweeted by a bunch of people. Did Elon put me in some ignore list? I tagged him with Vigil the other day, because obviously it's the only language that makes any sense for extreme programmers. My guess is he took offense. So yeah, I might as well just cancel my my subscription at this point. So yeah, I just canceled the badge. Fuck it. It's not doing what it needs anyway. Welcome back, Ethan. So yeah, what's everyone up to? Any fun plans for the weekend or anything? But yeah, I didn't say anything bad about Elon. I simply tagged him with Vigil for extreme programming. I thought he'd appreciate it. I thought he'd get the joke. It seems like I'm actually like on the ignore list now. So, fuck it. Twitter's gonna keep burying my tweets. Why would I pay for the service? Oh, nice, Robotic Head. Do you think it's gonna be playable still? Right? We could just play Wasteland if you want, man. We need to finish that game. I'm not sure if we have anyone else that's trying to join us for some Saturday BG sessions. Meg 2? What's Meg 2? Like Megalodon, like the shark movie? Ah, okay. Was he in the first two? He was? Interesting. Is it any good? Rainn Wilson's in it? In the original? Okay. Cliff Curtis, he's great. Oh, Masaoka! Nice! Okay, yeah, there's like not a terrible cast. I mean, technically, yeah, Cliff Curtis hasn't been getting good films these days anyway. He's almost like the mark of like a bad film, which is a shame because he's a great like actor. He did a really good job in Training Day. But yeah, Cliff Curtis had kind of like a meh role in the film Pusher, and Pusher really just died, even though I really liked that movie. He was also the FBI director in the Die Hard movie that jumped the shark. Technically the one that jumped the car into the helicopter, but you know what I mean. That was the jump the shark moment. You found it pretty good? Eh, shit. I might check it out at some point. I think we all know it'll be on Tubi real soon. So it's actually based on a book. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know it was based off a book. That's cool. Alright, so back to what we're doing. We do actually invalidate our config when a remote fetch fails, which is awesome. I think. Hold on, let me double check that now. And wait, config Vultio is failing? Why? Oh, we're missing something. What prop are they saying is missing? Remote merged at. There we go. Damn, Glasses is doing a long stream today. He's got a new machine, so he wants to get the machine up and running as quick as possible, so I get that. Alright, so get request is defined here. So we end up throwing new error. Yeah, I think we're good here. And man, all the lurkers over on YouTube. Average view duration of 15 minutes. Which means we got 5 hours of watch time going, which is awesome. Thank you all so much. That shit adds up. Yeah, I'm stoked. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Atota's now on East Coast time, which means probably not going to have that many moments to actually game with him anymore, which is a bummer. But yeah, he did it for, you know, his reasons, and that's all that matters. Yeah, he moved back to East Coast. What up, Husam? And yeah, how you doing, Morishana? What you up to? Ooh, I made that one a little too spicy. It'll be fine. But yeah, so Robotic Kid, I'm not even sure we have like a full party for Baldur's Gate 3. So I don't know, like, I'm thinking tonight maybe we just do the Wasteland. Keep it downloading just in case. But yeah, I'm not sure Atoda is going to be available consistently, so I'm not sure. Just, I don't know. We'll see what he says. What's the game about? Baldur's Gate? It's like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, for the most part. Like, it's actually in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, etc. Specifically, I think, Forbidden Realms. Baldur's Gate itself is just the name of a city. So it's not any, like, major continuity between games or anything. Yeah, so this fetcher should be good. Yeah, I don't think that's our problem here. So we should be fine. I was just wondering if there was some case where this wouldn't actually throw. And I don't think that's our problem. So I think we're good. If you're curious about what Wasteland is more like Fallout, but group-based, and not like Fallout 3, but more like Fallout 1 and 2, like the same, like, you know, top-down type perspective. Oh, it was good. Pretty much only made it past, like, the prologue. Oh yeah, no worries, Defect. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, hold up. This needs more water. That was too spicy of a beverage. There we go. Alright, so as far as remote changes go, yeah, the other thing I wanted to do was actually add a little circle towards the disabled things. So that's over in status. All right, so I'm thinking item count badge. It's a number or a string. Question mark? Question mark. Do we think there's a different icon we should be using instead of the question mark? Not icon, but like value inside of that circle. And if you don't know what I'm talking about like here in the bottom corner there. At least like we got these lined up now and it looks, I think, better. So for the most part, we reject all of these. I want to style this better too. Oh, and you know what? Yeah, that's actually easy. Why is that not text center? Way better. Yep. So let's do that real quick. That goes within our modal. Sorry for the burp. And yeah, what up, Jalu? How you doing? Sorry, that was a minute. I also want to do the same thing there. So wait, what do you mean by that? Baton? And yeah, hey, thanks, Marshana. Yeah, I really like it when chatters like chat with each other like that too. I still don't know what you mean, though. Yeah, no, that's great. Like, Morishana, like, I appreciate that. Yeah, when someone says hi, I can't be the only one saying hi. That feels weird and somewhat parasocial. Instead, y'all are in chat together. Feel free to chat at each other. I've kind of noticed that people don't, like, chat at each other much in this stream. Now, it's not a problem, but yeah, I think it's interesting. That ends up being my main interaction in most chats, actually. Like, chatting at other people in the chat rather than actually chatting at the streamer. Is that simply because I'm a streamer? So I still want to, like, engage chat normally? I definitely don't like backseating streamers, but when someone is backseating a streamer and I see a flaw in what they're saying, I'll totally tag the person and let them know, like, hey, that could have an issue. And I'll, every once in a while, I'll say something like, you know, hey, like in Alt F4 stream earlier, Atoda had a moment in which he's trying to, like, create an active state for a link. I simply pointed out path name and href may not always be the same. At some point, href might include query params and stuff. How do you solve that? How do you fix it? Well, that's up to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying I can think of some edge cases, and that's what makes a good developer, thinking of the edge cases, in my opinion. And not saying he's not a good dev, he just doesn't have the experience with it yet. That's fine. So I disagree, though, Jalu. Yeah, like, that is the normal case, but when I am in someone else's chat, hanging out, the majority of my messages are actually to other chatters. So it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Again, yeah, Morishana. I remember the IRC days as well. So, Baton, I'm still not 100% on what you mean, but let me just point out that, like, are you saying, like, this component specifically? The goal of this component is to rationalize changes from remote to local or local to remote. So, in general, we have two versions of this. The remote one that you can barely see because it's, like, kind of, like, dimmed a bit is about remote changes being brought into local. And we would approve or deny those changes as we see fit. Right? Some of those things. Right? And then, sure, remote merge that, remote modify that, why not? And then we would maybe click merge remote changes, and that would do something. Now, we don't have the logic wired up of what that needs to do yet, but it would theoretically modify our local state based upon what the remote state, like, diff is, and what we've approved as things that we intend to, like, you know, bring in locally versus the things that we want to publish later. Yeah, no worries, Baton. Again, like, I think I was just confused on the way you were phrasing the question, but I think I actually, like, somewhat understood what you meant slightly anyway. Did I actually answer your question? Let me put it that way. Right? You say you got it, but did I even understand what you meant, or just by pointing out what I'm talking about, did you, like, figure it out anyway? So, yeah, no worries. Yeah, the main part of this is, it'll be rare. It'll be very rare. But someone using this config, logging in, and fetching the remote config from some Git repo may not be the person that updated it most recently. So we need to bring those changes into our local so that we can then make changes and publish them as a PR to the remote. So that's the main gist. Does that help? Again, not a bad question. I just didn't understand it, and I'm trying to think about how I can make sure it's more obvious in the future, because if it wasn't obvious right now, then it's probably not obvious to anybody. You know? So I'm sure there's some type of, like, UI, UX, user hint type thing I could do with the UI to make it more obvious. To have, like, an explainer video or, like, a tour through it misses the fact that by having to do those things, it means that maybe your UI is not as intuitive as it should be. So yes, I think at the moment my UI is not as intuitive as it should be. Now that I've explained it, it probably makes a shitload of sense, but that's because I had to explain it, right? So if a UI needs explaining, it's not necessarily a great UI. Now I do have little like notes and things about that. I could add a little like info thing next to remote validation, etc. But I think at the moment it's actually like shining light on the fact that the UI is not self-explanatory yet. So we're gonna have to fix that. I don't know how yet, but that'll be the eventual goal. Real quick though, I gotta pee. I gotta pee real bad. I've got an entire glass of water in me, a Red Bull, and now 2.5, maybe 3.5 whiskeys. I might have forgotten count there, but no big deal. But I gotta go pee. I'll see you in a sec, and I'll be right back. Hey, you guys! Alright, I'm back. Oh, and shit. Yeah. You guys know something that someone told me when I moved into this apartment? They were one of the technicians. I'm trying to see if I have any examples in this room. I don't think I do. But basically, if you ever see your electrical outlet mounted upside down, that means they're actually wired up to one of your light switches. And I didn't realize that was actually like a thing that they do as a heuristic of like, is this wired to a light switch or not? It's really fucking genius. When surfing like just the internet the other day, I found out that's been a thing for decades. Right? Just as far as like, you know, make the electrician's job easier if you can. I know, exactly, Declan. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Nori's mini scruff. But I bet if you mentioned it to him, he'd be like, yeah, duh. Right? Which is funny. It's like, come on, Dad. That's some of the info I could have used at this point. No, so it's not like required, it's not part of any specification. It's just simply like a thing that has been passed down through like, because it's a trade, tradesmen tend to pass these things down rather than it being documented anywhere. But I found out that it's common enough on the internet. So it might be regional, but it's also something where like, you know, thanks to the internet, it's probably becoming less regional and more like universal. He does not do it. So, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. Has he heard of people doing it? I think for the most part, if you don't see any upside down like outlets, then, you know, the electrician just didn't do it that way. Is this a switch? Let's try it. Yeah, exactly, for sure. But maybe now, in the future, if he knows that that's a thing, could he start doing it? I don't know how old he is. Maybe he's retired, so not even relevant. But it could make everybody's life easier if it ends up being like a worldwide just like pattern, which is kind of cool. I like things like that. Isn't retired but old, so probably set in his ways. But still, I think it'd be worth like bringing up and like asking about, like, hey, have you heard of other electricians doing it? And where you live, it's probably different. You know, not a big deal. Right? It's probably very much like country-based to some degree. Maybe not regionally based. I don't know. I'm not sure where you are. No idea. There you go, your TV and your clock. Oh shit. So the clock is the big one. The clock is a major problem. Someone flicks the wrong switch and your alarm's off. Oh god. You know, like that's a nightmare. That's not necessarily a great idea. Alright, so there you go. That's way better. That's a better move. I use my phone for an alarm as well, but only because I don't need an alarm clock anymore. I gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, the actual alarm clocks, the sound they make is so fucking stressful. The sound that my iPhone makes is like, boo, 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 right? Like that sound, and then it gets a little bit louder. Boo, 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 boo. Like, you know, like it's super good, right? I know I'm fucking up the sound. I'd have to like think about it again. I haven't actually had my alarm go off for weeks. Because for some reason I wake up like 15 minutes before it goes off anyway. Or I'll wake up like an hour before it's going to go off, and I'll just sit there like thinking instead of actually getting back to sleep. Anyone else out there like just not need their alarm anymore? Right? I still set it as like a fail-safe, but for the most part, it's a really good day if I don't hear it go off. Right? It means that I went to sleep at the right time, I got enough rest, and I can just wake up on my own volition. I've actually heard that alarm clocks, like actual like alarms, are a major cause of like heart attacks, etc. Ah, the cats. Ooh, the cats are a thing. Yeah, when I had cats, my favorite thing they would do is like, if I would like roll over and like separate my legs or something, they'd squeeze right into the crevice between my legs, and now I can't move. Right? Like, it's brutal. It's fucking brutal. Right? It's like a weird contortion, like stretching maneuver to like not wake the cat up while you like reposition. I'm like, dude, it's brutal. But I loved my cats. I miss them. I'm still like hesitating on getting another cat. I want to get one. I just want to make sure I can like give it the attention it deserves. I still want to like go out of town from time to time kind of stuff. So I'd want to make sure that like water and food is like wired up on timers and things like that. And I just don't have all that set up yet. And I don't feel like litter box training a new kitten at the moment. I probably would not do a cat cam, but I would let the cat in and just like, you know, have him on my lap while I'm chilling. Or maybe like have a thing next to me in which they'd be chilling. But probably not like a camera. I just don't care. I'll pick them up and hold them and like, you know, do the thing. Make them do the Superman. Who here doesn't do the Superman thing for their cats? Okay? Right? You just hold them up and stretch their legs out and they're like, Superman. Hey! Like, yeah, for sure. It's the best. You gotta Superman pose your cats. might be the only one. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'd end up getting one of those litter robots, too. Yeah, I'd end up getting one of those litter robots. Because, yeah, you gotta train the cat on those fucking litter robots immediately, or they're, like, scared of them, which sucks. I think, Glasses and Atoda had that same problem. Right? Like, their cats are old enough that it took, like, I don't even know if they took to the litter robot, but that's a bummer if they didn't. Because those litter robots are like $600. Oh, and you know what? I missed an opportunity on the YouTube earlier. Someone chimed in with like an Allahu Akbar thing or whatever, right? I should have responded with Salam Alaikum. Walaikum Salam. No, those are the only lines I know. Sorry. Yeah. Nope, that's all I know. My bad. Nope. English only, please. Someone just said it over on the YouTube, and I was like, damn it! Missed opportunity. I'm pretty sure I don't even know it from like proper Arabic speaking countries. I think I know it from like the Malcolm X movie. You know, like, whatever you say, brother Malcolm. Alright, so let's pour another one of these. So yeah, just in case, do we have anyone that is into voice acting and, you know, like actual role-playing? If you'd like to play a Baldur's Gate game, I think we might be trying to get one going tonight. I haven't heard from Atoda if he's trying to play or not. Being chained, Mini Scruff? No, not yet. I think that type of scheduling would be a little tougher. I think that would maybe be something that we'd want to set within like a paid service, right? Like automation would be part of like the paid platform, maybe. As far as like gradual rollout, we got gradual rollout. That's chill. That part's easy, right? We can release to, you know, whatever threshold we want. We can release to whatever seed we want, right? Randomize it for a different 40% if we want, sure. But as far as like gradually rolling it out to like the next 10% over a period and then rolling back on a condition or something, that would be tougher. I think that would be part of a paid platform. I just have a harder time thinking about how we'd do that in a properly automated fashion. I don't think we can do it as like just a client-side application, right? Like this app right here only runs statically on something like GitHub Pages. We have no server whatsoever. We have no like persistent state. This is only you and your local storage on your own machine, and then like the thing that we're connecting to in GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, whatever. So for that type of like automated release, and then possibly like to bail out and roll back, that would be a separate thing. I like the idea though, like Miniscruff, you're thinking about all these things that will make this into like a proper application versus like the MVP, which I really appreciate, I really like, but I think we end up needing like a broader scope than just what we're doing right now. Yeah, so the whole idea, Miniscruff, is there's no server involved whatsoever. I'm not even paying for a server. It's just a static file somewhere that your client SDKs fetch the data from. Right? Pushing those changes is just a, you know, React, like, not create React app, but similar to create React app style application that's just static assets. So there's no server being involved in any way whatsoever in the current like version of things. And I want to make sure that we solve that case first and foremost. But then how do we roll it back? How do we stop rolling it out? Right? I think that's just beyond the use case. And instead, you would just manually be like, okay, are we ready to roll it out to the next 20%? Cool, cool, cool. Then we'll just drag this slider to 60. Right? And then you're done. Right? And then you publish it, then you get it rolled out, then you check more. I think anything involving automation like that just has to come from somewhere else. Because again, how do we know what we've rolled out to versus what we're at? Every user is going to have their own client running on the front end. So how do we actually maintain the state that the SDK is rolled out to? We can't. So any state like that about like where the rollout is would exist only on one person's machine, only on their whatever, right? So yeah, I just think instead what you're talking about would have to be part of like the paid platform, because then I'd have to have a server running to do that stuff. In the same way that if I wanted people to be able to measure some stuff, that'd be worthwhile. So again, if the state is configured from static configs, how do we know what level we're rolled out to? All of this stuff is Git native. To have a change actually make it to where other people can consume it, it would involve a PR to that Git repo, because we need to be able to track at like when changes happen. So client SDK would only have the state available in the static file that's hosted somewhere. And that state itself would just be 20%, 40%, whatever. As far as changing that state, it still has to go through the same checks and balances. Right? You still need to make a PR to change that value of the percentage of people that should get this in production, etc. To automate anything involves a server. Does that make more sense, Miniscruff? No matter what, the client SDK only has the remote JSON file as a source of truth. And that remote JSON file is only ever the value that you have configured and set via PR. Right? What you're thinking is some type of like gradual rollout. But again, so think about it though. That JSON would have to be updated in some way for a new client to know if the current state is 20%, 40%, 60%, 100%, right? That state needs to be in the JSON value because the clients would be spawned individually per user whenever they launch the app. So then it would fetch the initial value from that JSON file, and then my client SDK in the application I have running, sure, it could ramp up 40, 60, 80, but that would involve the user keeping the application running for long enough for that ramp up to happen. Because the client SDK is the source of truth when fetching that JSON. So the client, when you refresh the page, starts from scratch of fetching the JSON and treating that as the source of truth. So every time a user refreshed, the percentage that they may be rolled up to in the client SDK would reset again. So it's not a good experience that way. We would need a centralized server with that type of functionality involved. Now what you're getting at though, Miniscruff, is simply, could I create a service so Miniscruff, right, if you do that like measured rollout, how do you actually roll it back, right? Like what's the point of the rollout start and end without any way of like programmatically rolling it back? It's meaningless. Right? That's fine, but then why would you ever want to roll something out to 100% of users over some gradual thing without someone involved? I think no matter what, it involves a human being as part of that process to do a rollback or to increase the value. I think the only way to make that client-based, driven, is to involve a human being ramping up the value anyway, you know? And then a human being rolling back the value anyway. To automate any of that, I need a server. So I'm pushing back a little bit on that one. I don't see a use case for it. If you would want to possibly roll it back, you're going to have someone there anyway. No, I get it, Miniscruff. Even if support is watching, support would still have to have the power to roll it back. So why wouldn't support just roll it up as well? Right? If support has to be involved to roll it back, support should probably just be involved to roll it up too. I think in many cases, you don't necessarily want to have support have that ability. So instead, it would have to be fully automated. If you want to set up the automation for that, yeah, we can do it. Right? You send me a value of, hey, that thing, it failed. We hit an error with that feature we released. Could we roll it back at that point? So mini scruff, you're missing the point. The PR we're talking about is not the same PR for what you're doing elsewhere, right? This has to be completely separate from your front end. The Git repo that you're doing flags to should only be feature flags. That's it. The entire point is decoupling feature flags from your standard deploy. The company I work at, a standard deploy of the front end takes 20 minutes to go through like all the testing it needs to be, even like before it's been approved and merged. Meanwhile, could we turn a feature flag off and on, and the entire process is, well, did I get an approval? Can we mark it as merged and get it in? And then pushing it up to where the static file lives should be 30 seconds, right? We do a lint, we push it up, and we're done. So there you go, mini scruff. Even if it's only polling every 5 minutes, like it'd be the same thing. It'd be the same problem. It's on you to set how long or how often you want to poll for. If it's every 5 minutes, then it's every 5 minutes. Like, deal with it. But I still think it involves a human being to increase, like, the threshold of how many people should be getting that feature. Again, like, I'm not trying to, like, say, oh my god, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm just trying to, like, think about the problem together. And my version of debate is presenting my side of things as if I completely fucking believe it. And then, yeah, we're good. So you have that problem at your company. Your feature flag service is essentially tier 2. So you have to ensure A/B testing when you implement feature flags. Sure. But doesn't that still involve a person turning it off or on based upon the metrics? Do you actually automate the rollback of a flag being turned on? Okay. Right, so I'm thinking in, like, at least the common cases, it's always a human being involved. But if I ended up implementing a service, right, like a cloud that you sign up for, if you send me enough signals that the feature should be rolled back, then yeah, we can do that. No problem. But it would be on the user to send the signals to the server to, like, you know, say the flag is failing in some cases. And if we see enough failures within X amount of time, then yeah, roll it back. Again, currently, Miniscruff, with the way it works right now, yes, flags are driven by the user. However, the eventual cloud offering that we have could implement some, like, automated, you know, blue-green type test or whatever, right? It'd be up to the developers to send the signals of when the test is failing, though. Right? In like, production. So, I still think that's something that I can't automate for anyone, but if I can at least say, hey, you want to have an automated gradual rollout? Yeah, we could release out to the next 20% of users every 12 hours or something, sure, right? Yeah, so again, Miniscruff, we could do that, but that involves a server on my end. That involves basically the cloud offering that this, like, product would eventually offer. I think right now, anything that involves, like, a cloud offering, we gotta punt for a bit. But that would be part of, like, my pitch towards, like, Y Combinator or A16Z or whatever, right? Hey, we've got this tool, it's open source, but there are certain features that we need a cloud offering for, and I think enough businesses and companies would be willing to pay for it that, boom, right? Like, totally worth it. But I'm going to need some investment to make that shit happen. So yeah, I do think Vexilla would be an eventual, like, Y Combinator or A16Z or The dude who created Product Hunt has his own fund and accelerator. Like, there's a bunch of them that I'd happily apply to. Techstars, etc. For sure. Yeah, so Nasreddin, that's what I'm talking about. The cloud would be like the monetization strap. And I'm guessing you meant not a bad idea, monetize. Like, the goal is monetization at some point. At the bare minimum, could we collect, you know, sponsorship money? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, if I'm doing it all purely static file-based and client-based, my operating costs are 0, so I can just keep working on this shit and not worry about it. So, yeah. The cloud offering would be something where I'd want to get some investment to make sure that this business is, you know, heading in the right direction. I'd want to take on a co-founder that understands how to run a business properly. I'm not sure I do. I fucking miss filing my taxes for my businesses that make no money every year. You know, like, dude, totally. Exactly, Miniscruff. We do our own hashing algorithm. The hash is only consistent at around like 800 users, maybe 600 or 700. But anything less than that, and like the hashing is not necessarily as consistent as you would like. But yeah, we're like literally doing a hash. I can even show you the function. I think it's kind of fun. Let's go to client TS. So yeah, test gradual, right? We take in the user's UUID or some ID, we turn it into a string, and then we hash it, right? Right, so we create a hasher with our seed, and that's how you could maybe select a different 20% of users. And then we hash that value into a number, and then we check if it's below some threshold, right? Like, super easy. So yeah, we are definitely doing some hashing. You'd invest? Yeah. I'd like to do a proper, like, investment round. I wouldn't invest in myself even, though, until I get someone who I think is more, like, detail-oriented for, like, the business stuff. Yeah, no worries. We'll wait a sec. But yeah, I need a co-founder that is more, like, detail-oriented so that they can stay on top of, you know, the paperwork and all that bullshit. Because I am notoriously bad at that. But yeah, what up, Nutella? How you doing? So yeah, what's your question, Miniscruff? Add the flag key to the hash string? No, that's up to the user just to set a different seed. Right? Because the seed is actually per flag. Right? Seed is per flag. So I'm not worried about that. Yeah, same idea. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I wanted users to be able to, like, individually change the seed per feature, right? So that some of the same users still get, like, the same thing, but then some other feature, well, yeah, we tested it with these users and then turned it off because it broke. Let's try it with some other ones, right? So we can get, like, their fresh perspective. So yeah, I still think, like, a per flag seed is better than appending, like, the flag itself. Better is a fuzzy term. I'm not trying to say it's actually better. You know, like, again, I'm not trying to actually point out what I mean by better. I used the wrong word. My bad. Exactly. And yeah, if you're unaware, we do have the concept of scheduling, too. Yeah, change the seed to get a new 10%. Exactly. Yep. And we also have the idea of scheduling, not quite the scheduling you were talking about, but do we want to have this flag only on during the holidays, right? For like a theme. Sure, right? For gradual, that's less important, but for like a toggle, oh yeah, the holiday theme. Yeah, turn it on from point A to point B. We don't have to be there on the day to turn it off. Things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what we got so far, but I'm sure there's like other stuff we could fix. Similar to your idea before, but it's not about like gradually rolling it out. It's more about having it only active during a certain amount of time. So at that point, if you really wanted to like ramp it up, you could have, like, it would be more effort on the user, but you could ramp up like, hey, let's do the 20% today. We'll ramp it up to 40 tomorrow, and they're just separate features, technically. That could work too. But I think, yeah, I think the automated like rollout, besides just scheduling like a separate thing, yeah, I'm not quite sold on it yet. I think it's a great idea for a service I create, less of an idea we could even implement for the static file-based approach. But again, you're giving me good ideas and things that we could point out of like why it would be worthwhile to create a service around this too. I think my biggest goal is, could I build this out in a way that makes some bigger company just want to buy me out before I even do the A16Z thing? Or like, you know, some other VC thing? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly. X considered harmful is harmful. And making a video about it is probably kind of harmful. It's not the end of the world, though. And yeah, I'll just say this real quick. Any lurkers over on the YouTube would really help me out. You don't have to, not a big deal. We got one concurrent viewer. We got 23 views at 20 average minutes, which is huge. That's awesome. Yeah, y'all really help me out. Right? You're boosting my like watch hours massively. Granted, if I just made better video content and like released more videos, that would probably be the actual way to do it. Oh, don't worry about it, Nosredden. Like, no stress, no stress. I'm just saying, I'm taking the easy way out at this point by doing the live stream over there. I'm okay with it. Is it sustainable? No, I should probably just release more like videos. Yeah, exactly. I'm taking my sweet ass time, aren't I? Ass time? What is ass time? Ass time is technically when I've had too much to drink. Wink. Yeah, I definitely turn into a jerk sometimes when I've had too much. I get it, I know. It's not ideal. Usually I'm like the happy-go-lucky jovial one, but, you know, every once in a while. Maybe, Declan. You're obviously not an ass man. You know, we're only human. I do not have feature flags for Vexilla in Vexilla itself. That would not be a bad idea. I am using Vexilla in Stream Parrot and a couple other projects already, though. We're actually using Vexilla at work right now as well. Changey. Do you mind if we look at it? Feel free to do a link too. A toaster whatever. Thank you for the sub. I was gonna say, like, I didn't recognize the name, but like two years of subbing. So yeah, Gluggernaut, I like it. Yeah, good name. That's almost 2 years. There you go, we want Derek. I assume that's like a Biodome reference. We've only got 3 days left. Ooh, that's almost 72 hours. If only we had another 24 hours. Yeah, or another day. Something like that. I know it's a line from Biodome. I forget which, though. Oh, interesting. So, I hope you're okay with a little bit of feedback. These dots over here on the left are weird, and like these being center aligned is a little weird. I thought it was maybe my zoom. And again, you don't have to change shit. I gotcha. Yeah, no worries. I'd say another thing to do is try and figure out like a placeholder image that shows at least like a part of what you're trying to do. And then when they click it, it shows the video. Because then you at least get something instead of just like this gray box. It's an option. Again, like, you do whatever you want to do. Ah, it is a cinema. Oh, okay. Or a scanema, I forget the way. Is it using like the latest version of a scanema too? I had a scanema actually like lose one of my previous like recordings, and it bummed me out like really badly. Ah, okay. I mean, it technically works though, right? So you saved the recording locally. I was using their remote version, and then they like, threw it away. So I should have made it local. Oh, yeah, no, this is nice, man. I like it. Yeah, I'd say I've only got 2 critiques. Have some initial, like, image you see, especially, like, one of these, like, pretty colored version ones. Have that be, like, the default you're seeing. I'd say also try and, like aim for like an aspect ratio that's like familiar. So I think some like responsiveness stuff, like, widening it out at certain screen sizes would help. Like as I zoom in, like that works a lot for me when I'm zoomed in at my 175%. But when I'm at 0%, or like 100%, I should say, I think there's like some stuff you can do responsiveness wise. And I'd get it, like maybe you don't consider yourself much of a front end dev. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing. Right? If it's a bad like guess, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like throw you under any bus or anything. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Like no stress. Okay, yep, exactly. I think so far, like, it's good, but yeah, here's another one too. Like, those dots should be right next to the start of the thing, and these should not be center aligned. They should be left aligned with, like, the bounding box around them, like, margin autoed on the sides, and then it's, like, within, like, the constraints that you got. And then bam, right? You'd be good. So, again, take it with a grain of salt. Do whatever you want. It's your library. But yeah, it looks good, man. Like, just overall, yeah, it's good, man. I'm not trying to drag you through the mud. Just keep that in mind. I see a thing, I comment on a thing. It's kind of how it goes. And it looks like you're using a base theme by Zero Static. At this point, I'd actually recommend trying out some of the other like documentation boilerplates that are out there. You've definitely seen like a Docusaurus boilerplate before, right? But Astro also has like one of its boilerplates too. I would recommend one of those boilerplates that actually allows you to like opt into doc search, because it's free. Ah, okay, so you specifically wanted to use Hugo. I would simply say check out doc search by Algolia. It's a really, really cool thing that like they index your site for you, and you've definitely been on a DocuSearch site before. Let me think about one that's definitely a DocuSearch site. Like a Docusaurus. No, not Yotai. Ooh, that is the DocuSearch by Algolia, though. And then you can just be like, get whatever, right? Like, like, and they will index your site and like do all this. So technically the Yotai docs are using DocuSearch, which is search by Algolia, and they give you all sorts of really good like linkability and like awesomeness. right? For free. Like, awesomely for free. But if you wanna, like, if you wanted to, like, stick with Hugo, there's also, oh, shit. Is it page search? They're doing like Hugo Lunar. No, there's like a very specific... Hold on, so page search is wrong. Hold on. No. Oh, HugoConf 2023. Ooh, I didn't submit anything. I don't have anything worth submitting. 2022 summary. Here we go. Page Find. That's the name. That's the name. Hey, what up, Croucher? How you doing? So yeah, so Page Find. This is actually a really useful tool for Hugo sites. Right, so let's look at it, right? Boom, if we zoom in, Page Find is a fully static search library that aims to perform well on large sites while using as little of your user's bandwidth as possible. It runs after Hugo, 11T, Jekyll, Next, Astro, SvelteKit, or any other SSG. The installation process is always the same. Page Find only requires a folder containing the built static files of your website, so in most cases, no configuration is needed. Like, it's actually really cool. Yeah, so if you don't want to go the Algolia DocuSearch way, Page Find is a really useful tool. I already pasted it. I'll do it again because it's that good. Yeah, no worries. Just throwing it out there. You don't gotta do shit. But I like showing off things that I found. Yeah, cool. Another tool I've used is change sets, which is another like interesting tool to use. It's especially like viable for like mono repos in which like things depend upon each other. If you haven't heard of it, maybe check it out. I'm sure Changey works perfect for your use cases for it, but maybe it has like a blind spot for mono repos. I don't know. I'm just saying. Change sets is a nice library as well. Okay, there you go. Yeah, maybe look at how change sets does some of it, and you got some insights for later. All right, so real quick, you know, I'm getting kind of hungry. We did some good work today. I'm not necessarily, like, done with what we're doing. But I would actually enjoy a bit of time to, like, stew on what we've done, right? Like, how the changes here to there, like, you know, which part matters, etc. I think we're close. I think we're getting there. But we're not maintaining our timestamps right, and that's actually the issue. If we had maintained our timestamps properly, our local timestamp should be when we've updated it, but we should also be considering when we last fetched and rationalized or merged from remote. And this isn't right at all. The remote timestamp is August 5th, 5:58. We did not actually merge that. So there's like a timestamp there that's just not right. So we're gonna have to look at that now. And I think we're actually just doing like a day.js like now or something. So that's a mistake. So yeah, we got some work to do with our timestamps, measuring when we've done a merge, whether the merge was successful, blah, blah, blah. We need to implement the function for merging things in. We'll probably end up getting to that Monday, because tomorrow I'm going to be taking a day to get work done and maybe edit some YouTube videos. We'll see. And, yeah, so at this point, we're going to go raid the Alt F4 stream, because I haven't had the chance to raid them for ages. Time is extremely hard, Toaster. Yeah. Dude, we have some major bugs around UTC midnight and scheduling that I'm gonna leave as just like an edge case for later. It's not a problem for me now, it's a problem for me in the future. And yes, it's an early day problem as well. It's a future me problem for sure, but future me is actually like sometime within the next couple weeks. I just got some stuff to do. I got some sushi to eat, and I got some games to play here in a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna go raid the Alt F4 stream. I'll see some of y'all over on gaming stream, and I'll see the rest of y'all on Monday, because tomorrow is a full day of gaming stream in which we watch like some Red Dwarf and maybe Columbo, which sounds fantastic, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll be over on gaming stream. And hold up, gaming is, there you go, someone did it. I'll be over on gaming here in just a little bit. We're gonna go say hi to Alt F4 stream, and I will see you guys again either tonight, maybe tomorrow, and the rest of y'all on Monday. So, cheers, later. I'm gonna click that button, and I'll see you soon.